Here we go. Trump trial, 8 years later, 7 months before the 2024 election. It is a trial that shouldn't happen in a case that Alvin Bragg never should have brought. Joining us now to talk about this, Alan Dershowitz, professor emeritus at Harvard Law School, Gregg Jarrett, Fox News legal analyst, and author of the Constitution of the United States, other patriotic documents. Gregg Jarrett, what is up with this case? I mean, really, what is up with this case?
You know, this is the most tortured, convoluted, cockamamie case I've ever seen a prosecutor bring. And I've been a lawyer for more than 40 years. I've tried cases. This is truly outrageous because it's punitive and quite blatantly politically motivated. Bragg is contorting the law by taking an expired misdemeanor, attaching it to a federal campaign finance violation that isn't a violation at all. What's more, he's not actually charging that underlying crime because he has no jurisdiction and authority as a local prosecutor to do that. The Federal Election Commission and the Department of Justice looked at this and said, this isn't a campaign donation. There's no crime here, but enter Alvin Bragg, who thinks he knows better and can prove the case. But frankly, all he's got going for him is a biased, Trump-hating judge and a jury pool that I am afraid is, virulently adverse to Donald Trump. It's going to be tough for him to get a fair and impartial jury.
Professor Dershowitz, this was, as Gregg said, the Justice Department looked at this and rejected it. The Federal Election Commission looked at this and rejected it. The other one that's so interesting is Cy Vance Jr. I'm going to call him a moderate Democrat, whether that's fair or not. He's an old friend of mine. He looked at it and didn't want to bring it. So why is Bragg bringing it, other than, Professor Dershowitz, the fact that it's pure election year politics? I mean, is there an iota of judicial meaning to this case?
No, of course not. And the only reason they're bringing it is to keep Donald Trump out of Pennsylvania when Biden goes out of Wisconsin, to keep him out of Arizona, to keep him out of other states. This is direct election interference. The purpose of this trial is to keep him from campaigning, to give the advantage to Joe Biden and his campaign. Now, I'm not a Trump supporter politically, but I know unfairness when I see it. I would like to see Trump defeated on the merits, without election interference, fairly and squarely, in a way that he can't complain, that Republicans who voted for him can't complain, and the New York District Attorney is denying the people of America the right to a fair election. And there is nothing to this case, nothing whatsoever. There's no misdemeanor here. If there were a misdemeanor here, Alexander Hamilton would have gone to jail. He paid hush money to cover up an affair with a married woman, and he didn't list it on his Treasury Department forms. Nobody in American history, I suspect nobody in world history, has ever been indicted for failing to disclose hush money. Why would anybody ever pay hush money if they had an obligation to disclose it? It's an oxymoron. It's not even a misdemeanor. And then they turn the misdemeanor into a felony by going outside the jurisdiction of the state courts, invoking a prosecution, which the federal prosecutors declined to bring.
Right.
This is outrageous. And I hope that Trump's lawyers would bring a mandamus right now and say, at the very least, let Trump out of the courtroom.
Right.
Let him campaign. If he makes a decision that he would like to waive the right to be there, there's nothing in the Constitution which gives the prosecution the right to keep him there. It's only a defendant's right. If the defendant chooses to waive that right and leave the courtroom at any given day, whether to go to his son's graduation from school, which apparently the judge didn't grant, or to campaign in Pennsylvania, he has the right to do that. And that's a constitutional case that should be brought immediately.
Gregg Jarrett, can you get a fair trial in New York?
Of course not.
Oh, I'm skeptical.
Of course not.
I'm skeptical that you can. What I would want is a working class juror who hates and really resents the fact that crime runs rampant on the streets of New York, and you've got this progressive district attorney, Alvin Bragg, who doesn't care. whether it's a shooting or an assault on the street, he allows people to go free. And instead, he's bringing this victimless crime that is so specious on its face against Donald Trump. And of course, the judge today ordered Trump to be there every day or he was going to toss Trump in jail. The professor is absolutely right. This is election interference. They want to take him off the campaign trail for the next 2 months to benefit Joe Biden and damage Donald Trump. But, I think they're underestimating the intelligence of the American voter. They see this for what it is: dirty legal tricks, lawfare in order to interfere with an election. And look at the poll numbers. There seems to be a backlash against this in favor of Trump because they see him not as a villain, but as a victim of a crooked system of justice run by Biden Democrats.
I would agree with Jarrett. We're on television. Great if it were on television. But the American public is being denied the right to see how the American justice system is being distorted. There's no reason for this trial not to be on television. If we saw this case every day on television, voters would be appalled, at the case. But they're going to read about it in the New York Times. They're going to hear about it on MSNBC. They're going to hear about it on CNN. And they're going to think, wow, this is the strongest case that has ever been brought because we have a total distortion. Just to go back 25, 30 years, the polls show that people who watched the actual O.J. Simpson case on television were not surprised at the result. But if they read about it in the New York Times and saw about it on CNN, they were shocked because they didn't know what really went on in the courtroom. The same thing is true here. If they just read about it through the filter of the left-wing media, they're going to think this is a good, strong case. But if they actually saw it for themselves, they would be outraged and appalled. That's why this case should be on television.
We'll do the best we can here at Fox. We will try to cover those hopes on Fox as best we can. Professor Alan Dershowitz, thank you, sir. As always, Gregg, Jarrett, thanks very much.